no atumia ni mearia ukeigua mundu akiuga atiriri una ndirakoraga mwana ngaringa ngagwithio kuria no ni maundu aria nguanirie ndui ni mkurwara orwarire no ndui ukurira ku no riria twoka na ndagitari na kumenya andu aria mekuria thibitari governor ni andikite mandagitari ma psychiatrist psychologist social workers no moiga ni mekwenda ma social worker mathiage ku mandikwo mahotage kumalichi kuria mucii etondu ti mundu wothe ukuhota kuthii kuria thibitari at least gugetagwo ikundi makaririo mundu akahutha ngoro mundu akahutha akiri ukamenya mundu uria ungikorwa arwarite ni maundu mariku ngiona marakaracio riria wana mwana ati akirite ugatuaga atiriri mtoto wangu amekuwa mzuri sana ati atuikire mwega ona ndaumagira no mwana ucio ni arwarire na ndui hari muthenya umwe ukira na marakara urigwa atiriri nura muveire bangi na pengine anja kunywa ko tauni ndeigwa anake acio mehara maria ni ndeciragia no mira mitheri I tell you kuge guturaga bangi kou Kaithari village kou nikuo kwi the leading ni turabatara kuingira kou tuhote kwariria andu acio tondu ndagitari ni atwira andu aria ingi athondekete kuria ri they are from Kaithari village. That is very alarming tondu itura ri tuikite ri na andu ingi arwaru ri in the next 5 years or 10 years tata amaguru kiothe no karuta wira koguo as a county government turabatara kuthondeka andu aya na ni atwira mirimu mingi ta ya depression na kiri ni treatable so korona tukoro na dawa outreach iyo kumenya ni au maramenderia bangi thirikari nene nayo enyitirire endia bangi tumenye ni au ni ndaigua mwena wa na guku Kiruguya ward ati area ngima ciana ni ciaregire thukuru na ni bangi na ni mundu mendagiria na thigari thiaga ku ati kuera. It is sad, it is very very sad. Koguo ni turabatara ta Kirinyaga county koro Ngai no atuteithie tukoro tutigatuika number 1 na Ngoma. We don't want that. Ona kwa ni thio tutongoragia na githomo no na twatongoria kinya kuu kungi na maundu maria maingi ni Kirinyaga koguo ino no twende tutigakorwo tugitongoria and we are working for it. We work for it with the teithitio ni governor witu tondu ni njoi ni agutunyitirira itapunguza hiyo lazima itapunguza.
Thiki muno mheshimiwa tuko tukenda na ndagitari na jirani nya hii ndagitari rigi effect ya mental health ikoretwo ile tondu county ni ya Kirinyaga ni tukoretwo o wiki tugitangatha ati kwina njoragano cira yumire kana andu kwiruta muoyo
ukiringana na Kirinyaga county togu tukoretwo tukiona andu makiuraga iyo ni one effect of the causes of mental illnesses yakora andu ni mareuraga tondu mundu ni agire stress nyingi na ndebaro aroka kwetha wagiriru kana kuthondeko riu gakora mundu ni akorirwo ni meciria make makinyire ni marwarire biu nginya gakorwo no kuita arenda kuita gakora manginya guku ni wei wingi bire muno andu guku nginya nduithi nginya utuku nginya kwina street right no rakini tondu andu makoretwo me idle na gutibesa na andu me guku muthenya mugima mundu gutiwira araruta finally hwaini gakora mundu no engage in such cases zanya ni za wizi.
Ino kurogikia retana kuri mbeũ njithi na andu thoko makiyumiria kumucera kura riu ngimo kwa mukiaraniria nao.
Ni nguri andu mothe everyone is welcome kure gwitu Kiruguya County Referral Hospital with our able her excellency our governor Madam Waiguru andu moge kure thibitari niketha mone magi services ya mental health it's treatable dawa sekuo na at least mundu ndagakorwo na guoya wa guka kura thibitari because it's very friendly na all is welcome mutigakorwo mona guoya wa guka kura gwitia services na they are all available.
Thank you muno na otogwa gikigwa ni ciegie thina wa meciria uria gikoretwo ukirio na njira nene guku bururi-ini wikiririkane ati thina wa meciria no gwikoretwo gikigiritanio na njuragano kana andu ciiko cia andu kwiruta muoyo kaingi gwagikora riria andu mataragiko magikiaraniria kana andu mataragiko magikiaririo ukirigana mathina maria magikuite mundu ringi agikiona ni wega no erutire muoyo no otogwa mheshimiwa Irene aiko agitutaria ni ati andu magikorwo magikiaririo na magikorwo magikirutira no githie kuria thibitari-ini gwikwo magikiaririo ciiko ici no igikorwo igikinyiha na njira nene kuma kaunti-ini ya Kirinyaga mwena wa Kiruguya gucokeria moro mwena waku wa studio.
Aya tukiuma kule kaunti-ini ya Kirinyaga tucokereria guku gatagati ka mucii munene wa Kenya Nairobi. Mutongoria wa aria nini bunge-ini ya Senate Stewart Mazayo ni okiriire speaker wa Senate Amason Kingi ni undu wa kung'athia kwanirira mogaruruku thiini wa ngwataniro ya Azimio la Umoja hari utongoria wayo bunge-ini ni kurumirira itua riayo ria gwika mogaruruku giturwa-ini kia muhuri wa mucarica wa aria nini thiini wa bunge. Mathio kana muthenya wa ira speaker Kingi ni arang'athirie kwanirira mogaruruku macio akiuga ati mathaa maria aragereirwo gukorwo ekite oguo marari mathiru undu uria riu Mazayo augite okiriire akiuga ati ni mugaru na watho na mitaratara ya bunge. Tuthie mwe kwemwe thiini wa mucemanio uyu na uria urathie na mbere ndagika ino.
The Speaker of the Senate, under an injunction issued by the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal for a mere issuance of a one-pager, one-sentence communication indicating changes in the minority, from the minority side. I want to state it very clearly that yesterday it was a very sad day for this Parliament. The Speaker of the Senate asked for the ruling. We had accepted. But of course, we have been served with an injunction from a political party's tribunal. We all accepted and said, fine, we shall move, we shall respect. It's a quasi-judicial body. And therefore, as the leaders in law and enforcing and making laws, we ought to respect that decision. And we respected it. But as you can see, while we respected it, yesterday we informed the Speaker that the Political Parties Dispute Resolution Tribunal has made its ruling, has pronounced itself with regards to what you had rejected earlier to implement. And he said, okay, where is the ruling? I want the ruling. And we served him with a ruling right in the House. Thereafter he says, okay, fine, I've seen the ruling. Where is the extracted order of the ruling? And we served him with an order of the tribunal. And we even read it to him that all pleadings that had been filed had been struck off. That means nothing lies before the political tribunal. The matter has been struck off. And once it has been struck off, it's like a dead body. You can't raise it up. There's nothing pending. So proceed to communicate. I think if I was the Speaker, I would have seized the opportunity and be very open and just pronounced that now that you have served me with this, I have seen, I therefore agree with the changes made by the minority leadership of the House. And we move on. Next order. That is the procedure. But surprisingly, our colleague, our Speaker, decided to stage a disappearing act. He says, I'm coming back after 30 minutes, after 20 minutes. He never turned up, thereby leaving us in abeyance. After 30 minutes we had given him, or he had given himself, he came back after 1 hour, almost closing in to 6:30. And therefore engaging us for a while. We are telling him, can you please pronounce? He says this and that, this and that, this and that. And then it crossed over to 6:30. There's some of us who want to defeat the whole thing. And I don't think for whatever benefit it is, we decided to say it is time up now, we better close the House. Okay, fine, the Speaker agrees, and we close the House. The House adjourns for today. And I'm very confident and sure that today we shall be served with a High Court order. I know, these are among the tricks. Openness. Now, if we are here, we are discussing openness, open governance. Let us all be serious and say we want open governance. But if this is the open kind of governance and you deny a quorum of the opposition, and my brothers are here, young lawyers like Wakili, who I have a lot of respect for. He's a very good lawyer. I have one of the most outstanding young lawyers coming up in the name of Cherargei, and I believe he'll have a long way to go representing the people of Nandi. I have other colleagues here. I have even a senior-most lawyer, David Ochieng. I think I can't see him. I don't think he's here. Yes, my brother David Ochieng is there. And he can say, it is so simple. When you get a communication, you don't even have to write a ruling. You just read the communication. I have received communication from the minority leader which states that he has changed the leadership from so-and-so to so-and-so, so-and-so to so-and-so. We have done it before. But if we are going to promote openness, then it must start with us in the Senate, in this Parliament of Kenya. That is my take. With those few remarks, I hope I have not made your breakfast.
Aya, tukitigana na icio ciegie mutongoria wa kana speaker wa Senate gugiukirerwo ni ngwataniro ya Azimio. Tumarike riboti ingi haha giikaro gia kamiti igiri cia bunge na iria cirathuthuria thuguri ya share cia kambuni ya Telecom uria yatabanirio riu ni githararire na thutha wa wakiri wa thirikari kwaga gwikinyia thutha wa president kwanirira kwa murwo kwa wakiri ungi wa thirikari thiini wa ngatheti ya thirikari. Oho ningĩ o ihinda-inĩ kau nĩ atĩ amemba a kamĩtĩ ici nĩ mokanĩrĩire igũrũ rĩgiĩ kana hihi ũrĩa warĩ minista wa ũkinyanĩria Joe Mucheru nĩ agĩrĩire gũkorwo agĩtwo ekinyie mbere ya kamĩtĩ ici. Gĩikaro gĩkĩ nĩ hingo kĩrathiĩ na mbere na thengia wakĩo gũthara. Tũthiĩ ĩmwe kwa ĩmwe twambe tuone ũrĩa maũndũ maikarĩte.
Limited. You confirm that the transaction has been executed as between the shareholders, the consideration paid, and request us to convene a meeting of the board of directors of the company to pass the necessary resolution to facilitate and complete the transaction. Whereas there will be no issue with the request, I would nevertheless wish to point out the following matters. 1. The board has currently constituted lax quorum following the retirement of Ms. Dorcas Combo and Mr. Gennaro Kibet on 7th of August 2022. Secondly, so this payment was made when the board of directors were also retiring. 2, I further have been advised under different title by the two directors appointed by Jamhuri Holdings Limited that they have already tendered their resignation and have further been requested to execute a blank and undated letter of resignation effective from the completion date of the transaction. So again here, that's why the chairman is a person of interest to us, is that purportedly the directors were asked to tender resignation letters that are not dated. For what reason? We shall establish. See, I note that the letter by Attorney General that he was waiting for the agreed form from the Attorney General's legal opinion for his consideration and issuance. It is evident from all the relevant transactions documents that these forms are fundamental condition precedent to the transaction. As board members, we have not been involved at all in the transaction, and in the view of the fact that there would be we could be held personally responsible for our actions, we would seek this comfort from the Attorney General. So it means that the board members felt that this particular transaction was questionable, and that is why they wanted the legal opinion of the Attorney General. 4, upon acquisition of all the shares of the company became a state corporation under the State Corporations Act. If the transaction is completed as you state, then it draws the complications under the provisions of the said Act which requires us to operate like 100% owned parastatal under the serious laws, statutes, and guidelines. This proposition would introduce significant challenges to the immediate continued operation of the company. Honorable members, the last paragraph. Finally, the company has the obligation to notify its employees, customers, and other stakeholders of the transaction. Given that the members of the board were not involved in the transaction, we would be seeking your guidance on how the transaction can be officially communicated, and in particular, confirm the status of employment contracts as well as other ongoing operational contracts with critical stakeholders and partners of the company. I look forward to hearing from you on the issues raised before we hold the board meeting. As at our sitting on Tuesday, and as the evidence that was as per the submission of the current CEO of Telkom Kenya Limited, this particular letter was never replied to. As a result, it would technically mean that the employees, all the other stakeholders, including suppliers, all learned of the sale of their company from media or from the proceedings of Parliament. That's where we are now. And I think I've made myself, and last clarification on this, so the shares have not been transferred. 2, the 6 billion was not for shares. The shares was only $1. The rest was retirement of this loan. The submission then was the reason given to the control of budget, and I think this is very critical. The reason given to the committee actually on finance and the supplementary was that what necessitated this particular transaction was because the shareholding agreement did give the shareholders a put option that could be redeemed anytime. But from the communication we've got,
Aya, tugitigana na giikaro kiu mwerero wa Kameme TV njitikiria twambe tuikirie oro hanini thiini wa tabarira ya Ndurumeni Matuura-ini no ndugagithie kuraihu tondu no tugithie na mbere tukihunguraga matura maria mangi wona ndwacokereria na no wega ukinjire kana hihi kwanyu mbura niri kana hihi niringite na kana hihi kugiri na matu ya hota gukiringa guku Nairobi yurite karia gethi ngakona ugwati twambe tuikirie
Kameme TV.
Ribororo ni taifuku, leito ni mombi.
Mugithi wa Kameme TV.
Wale wa maito tigaru etigera wa monai.
Haha no tikra twarafa twakurigithia rwimbo nginyagia mithu irege ndare.
Batana gwako kwera ni oriro, ne umagia moto ihogo.
Rwimbo tukakunegeria rio wetia na oho twakurera aini ngothi a nyimbo cia mugithi
wangethie mwana ni kumoza
mwago ugagitata ota uki
doraga motumio ria waciarire mami kaigwa ngoro eno ikimwenda kaigwa guthuthu yangu
mugithi warikia gukura rikorwo ri ihinda ria kwirekereria na kwiaura minoga ya kiumia kigima
weko
ugitira foni wajiro wa waya
tukakunyita ugeni guku gwa Kameme TV
na DJ Karim
na request yaku tuthaka emwe kwa emwe
haria tugaga lazima kashike
machete okere tuonana nogeganithia
omthenya wa Jumamothi cia thaa 4 cia utuku nginyagia thaa 7
kuinya mahende magabaka
guku gwa Kameme TV muthegi wa ruriri
mami nikandogariria ndikonaga mena mani kaita maithori
thiini wa ritwa ria Jesu mwanake ucio ni akuoneka na ndekura
ithenya ria mundu urite ritingiorio ni mbeca ona kana utonga wa muthemba ungi o wothe
nginya muthu tutitwamenya niki
olire August 1998
ciuria nyingi
miaka yo ni mingi muno na marito utwirira kuria njeriari
maithori o hamwe na ihoru ikagomera family cia aria moreirwo ni endwa ao.
Ohe mami uria wanjiarire.
Ngoro citu ni cikwendete.
O kuri uri coka mucii.
Na twakuona ni tugukena.
Ndaguthaitha Njeri. Tondu ona ndiakuhurite ngaguthukia ni miiko iri tu ndakuringite. Nayo nawe riu ni uhuraga twana twaku. Ndaguthaitha weumirie.
Aria morite tukoruria nginya kuria mari tukamanyitithania na family ciao.
Bangu ndiye najua lakini mama simjui.
Maithori mario na kieha magatuika ma gikeno.
Ndasa huyu ni ndugu yako akire mugambi wanyu. This is your sister. Sasa huyo ako hapo. Sasa huyo ndio mama. Wacha I want to surprise you. Huyu sasa ndio mama.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nyitanira na ndagitari wa njanjo ya muturire Mani Nyari.
Ithuĩ mawĩra maya no Ngai ũtũteithagia.